Okay, and we're underway for another game in the Sugar Free League Season 2. We've got Paragon 5 and ReBrand here.
And we're underway.
Always leave the stream open and get the echo there. But, yep, here we go. Lee Sin banned first, followed by Norelli and a Sejuani. Sejuani you've seen quite a bit of so far. It's been very strong. A few changes to her before the season started, so seen a lot more of her, and also in the LCK, seen a lot of play from her as well. Of course, there's still the classic counter picks, Trundle, Olaf, things like that. But if you aren't confident playing those, she could be a very, very valuable asset. Gonna get the Morgana in the block. Two champions that we've seen a lot of popularity of. Morgana as well in the bot lane, LeBlanc in the mid lane. They both bring a lot to the table. Morgana just has always been a generally good support, but against the melee supports with her spell shoot, she can deny a lot from them, so that's a tough matchup. Gonna be the Nautilus last ban. Yeah, there's a few players we have seen like to play Nautilus. It's sort of been a unique thing to a few players in the league. As we're gonna get the Kha'Zix's first pick here, which we saw yesterday from Pure Acid, but he's sort of known for that, so it's interesting to see other people pick it up as well. Of course, there have been some new builds with the Kha'Zix that have, made it rise in popularity. We're going to get the Alistar, though, as a response here. A very underrated support champion right now in the Sugar Free League, in my opinion. Super popular pretty much everywhere. So I'm surprised it's not as represented in the Sugar Free League as it is other places. But it just got it's got so much power. It obviously struggles early in the lane, but once you get those couple levels in, you're very, very tough to take down and do a whole lot of damage. And we're gonna get the Malzahar response, which is a pretty good combo together. I think the Kha'Zix and Malzahar, because you get the CC from the mid lane that you're missing from the from the jungle. Because recently we've seen a lot of crowd control from the jungle. At least in our last season, season 8, there was a lot of crowd control out of the jungle, but Malzahar can sort of pick up that slack, and he's always just a good pick in general. Ezreal going to be the follow-up here. Another champion that's seen some new builds and risen in popularity again. Adaption has really just been, well, first it was the double tier, but now we get in Sork boots because of the new AP ratio. Well, the new AP, it's not a new AP ratio, but you get a lot more damage from your W now, so actually, investing in some AP and some Magic Pen is worth it, because your only physical damage is your Q, really. Which is, just an interesting and different way to play the champion. Also seen some people round out the build like Gunblade 4th or 5th for some more AP and healing, of course. Instead of the usual Blade of the Ruined King, you go for Gunblade. But we're going to have the Ahri Gragas follow-up here, which Gragas, a champion that's seen, speaking of more builds, we got more champions that have seen some innovation in their builds, Ahri and Gragas. Perhaps we'll see the Glacial Augment on the Ahri, but Gragas seen some more AP, which is always fun to see a bit more damage out of that champion, because Gragas makes some exciting, explosive plays with his ultimate, of course. Just a really cool, interesting champion that you can show your skill on. Gonna get the Lucian ban and Darius and Renekton. So top lane target for ReBrand, and Paragon 5 is gonna go ahead and ban out the Lucian because they have picked their AD carry already, so trying to get rid of some of the things they don't want to play against. As well as the fact that Lucian and Alistar is a pretty deadly combo if you do find that all in.
I'm absolutely livid.
And Vladimir is going to be the last ban, which we haven't seen in quite a while, but always very powerful. I think some of the rune changes, and as well as the nerf to some of the items he used, like Shirelli as well. It wasn't a nerf per se, but it was a nerf for him because they changed the way, the stats the item gave and things like that. So Vladimir just was once top tier, is now falling back down because all the stuff he used got changed or nerfed. Xayah now going to be in with the Alistar, which is interesting that they don't go for the Xayah Rakan. It's open, but they just felt like the Alistar was the best first pick. Probably wanted the Lucian, but didn't get it, so they just fall back to the Xayah. To another strong laner who has potential scale, but With the Alistair combo, you can put down your feathers and get the root in. That's a setup you need. A couple Ardent Sensor supports going to be hovered here. Nami going to be the enchanter they go with, along with the Ezreal. And Scion in the top lane. We'll see. They have the top lane counter pick. We'll see if Klein can do anything with it. Hovering a couple different options. The Gnar and the Camille, the two. I suppose it could be the Gragas top lane, but in Camille jungle. But I'd imagine this is Camille top lane to try and bully out the tank. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of Camille jungle. It's where it's most popular recently, but Camille was a top lane originally and is certainly still good there. And, is good against tanks. Will win this push war for sure. There's really no one who can match the Camille in the side lane late game. And even, I don't know if you can really match the Ahri. You can certainly wave clear against her, but, with the Malzahar, the Scion. But there's no one who can really match the Ahri and Camille in the side lanes late in the game, later in the game. Which is definitely a concern here for Paragon 5, but they still have a pretty good team fighting comp here. The Malzahar, Scion, lots of CC for those team fights, and the Kazakhs, with the consistent damage from the Ezreal, is going to be able to tear those guys apart. The one thing you do have to worry about is the amount of mobility, though, on the other side. Pretty much all of them have dashes, technically. Alistair can't really dash anywhere defensively, but it's not easy to get onto the enemy here for Paragon 5. Like Malzahar, yeah, he's got his R button, but he doesn't have a ton of ways to gap close without the flash. He's taking the teleport. So there's not a ton of ways to get around that. I am interested to see what the builds are for the Gragas and Ahri specifically, because I think there's a lot of room there to experiment and test things out, or just go with the old standard stuff. But Camille, you'd imagine the Triforce. Seen some Titanic Hydra as well as some Ravenous Hydra from Camille's. It's been sort of back and forth as to which is better. But she should dominate that lane. Seen some, Comet. Comet was sort of the original keystone Camille used, but now also some press the attack in a few other things. So we'll see what she decides to go with. But I think certainly it's a match. It's now the teams have sort of cemented themselves into one is more team fight focused and one is more split push focused. But they can certainly, ReBrand could certainly do both. Especially with an Alistair Gragas, I think they've got some pretty good engage there. Or if the Ahri lands a charm. But will be the exhaust for the Nami. Alistair, of course, taking the ignite, but exhaust still good defensively, so will be picked up here for Supa Sugoi. And we just got another minute on the delay here, but then we'll hop in. Hopefully, I think for next stream I'll try and get a countdown up and running because the countdown we have starts at 5 minutes, so perhaps I'll be able to get a countdown for like the 2.5 minutes so that you guys can see that. We'll see. All right. But yeah, it's just going to be me for the night. Deep couldn't make it, so just me. As we've only got a couple seconds left here, and then we'll load in. While we're doing that, I'll do some promo stuff. If you haven't noticed, we do have Ace of Predator links in the description, as well as, I think in the chat, we've also got some other links to Humble, which you can buy games from and stuff, and we get a little money back from that. So go ahead and do that. Support the league. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. All right. everything should be ready. If not, we'll fix it later. But the precision secondary for Ezreal here. I've seen some people do this, but you'd think you'd want the mana back from the mana flow ban and things like that in sorcery. Still, precision is never a bad tree to go into. Will be the press the attack for the Camille and the Predator for the Gragas. So, nothing too exciting yet, but that may change with the builds. Of course, Kha'Zix going for the Electrocute. I played a little Kha'Zix in the past, and one thing I do like to take is I kind of like the Phase Rush Kha'Zix. I think it's actually pretty nice to play. I like it. Do lose a little bit of damage, but you get some survivability and some more mobility around the team fights. And I think it's just a little bit more, less reliant on the one shot. Like, you can do a little bit more, especially if you evolve. Like, when I play the Phase Rush, I usually evolve W first, and then depending on the situation, the second evolve changes. But that's sort of what I like to play. I think it's just a little bit more interesting than just one-shotting everyone. At least let them watch their life flash before their eyes before you kill them. A couple pings going out. Looks like Paragon 5 is going to walk towards the bottom side here. Standard 5-man setup from ReBrand.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And the pause.
A summoner has disconnected.
Okay, it's a DC. We were told before the game that someone might have to pause for a minute during it, but I don't think that was Gobi's, and he DC'd, so I think there's something wrong. But we have chat disabled, so I can't tell you unless they message me. Alright, well, he's already back, so we're fine. Or no, or maybe not. We'll see. It's still up in the air. I tell you, it feels good when I guess the labels right, because they never tell me what side they're going to be on, so I always got to guess the labels. If they're going to be on blue side or red side or whatever. And I guessed right today, which felt very good. Usually I'm wrong. I don't know how I'm like wrong more than 50% of the time when it's literally a 50-50 chance, but I seem to always be. A couple laughs from Kha'Zix, and looks like everyone will walk away. Quick ward over the wall. Didn't put it in the brush, but should still be able to see the Scuttle Crab there. Bit safer to do it that way as well. And we're going to get red starts from both junglers here. And more laughing here. All our toxic Kha'Zix mains. Apparently we've got a lot more Kha'Zix players than I realized. Let's see where he goes from here. So it looks like he's going to head up. So Skarin, I don't know. I'm messing that name up. Hopefully he'll correct me at some point. Skarin he's going for Raptors instead of, we saw Krugs last time from Pure Acid, I think. He went red Krugs, which is if you start with the Hunter's Talisman, you can clear pretty easily. Probably gonna go in for an early trade here. It's gonna be the level 2 gank up the top lane. Tokashiro with a red buff. That should be a kill here. Flash forward from Klein. We'll secure it. Featress did flash as well, so a trade of flashes in the top lane and the first blood. Very good start here for ReBrand. Then like top lane gank, we'll prop Scaring to go for the bottom side crab, but Bezlime is over there to rotate and prevent that from being taken, as well as the bottom lane. SWBF and Gobi have to push, which is surprising considering they are up against a double range lane as Xayah Alistar, which is a very low range lane. Well, Klein taking it to Features in the top lane again. Feature TV'd back. Xayah gets hit by a bubble. SWF gets a chunk taken out of him. Sharang and Subasagoi fighting back in that lane, but Kobe's still level 1, actually. He takes another Mystic shot to the back. This is... yeah, you want to get to that level 3 mark with the Alistar Xayah lane. They both really come online when... you know, because Xayah needs all her spells to get the feathers out, and of course Alistar needs all the abilities for the CC, because just the combo doesn't have a ton of kill threat. Like, you need the fall-up stun to generally get the 2v2 kill in lane. So you need that level 3. And it looks like there's going to get a double scuttle for ReBrand. I think Klein's going to actually take the scuttle himself, but... Scaran won't get any scuttles at all. Has cleared his whole jungle and just hopped over to the Krug. So got a full clear in. Gragas, though, has a few more camps to clear because of that scuttle crab take, and the assist on the first blood is very good, so... it was still a very good start for ReBrand. Of course, the new Camille skin. I think we had that. I think we had a Camille a couple days ago with that skin as well. Or maybe it was a Lysandra with that skin. As Shirang is forced to shift away from the combo of Gobi. Klein gonna get smashed down, but Vitress is pretty low on mana. Klein will go back with a hook shot for a couple autos. Proccing that, press the attack. Keystone for some extra damage. Pretty much even in CS around. Klein's a little bit behind, surprisingly, but he will catch up with this wave. Actually, probably take the lead because it is such a big wave. And, in the mid lane, a little bit of a CS lead for Bezelheim against Toxican. He was forced to flash earlier, but overall, not too big a lead. It's not anything that's going to lose the lane. But a double bubble there from Super Segoi won't result in anything. But, nice bubble from him there. Again, this Ezreal, like, Nami lane really doesn't have very much kill potential early on. Ezreal's just not a champion that, no matter what he's paired with, really, he doesn't really have any kill potential early. That being said, there's no real kill potential on him unless he messes up pretty badly, but... just a more passive champion. Now the gank in the mid lane. Scaran will do a lot of damage to Bezelheim, but he lands a charm and looks like he'll get away. Scaran just level 4 right now, and Tokashiro up in the top side against Vitress. Smash comes in, he gets both, but should go down. Yep, the leg swipe from Klein will take him for the second kill of the game. Second assist for Tokashiro as well. He's just camping that top lane, the classic jungle strat. The charm does land for Bezelheim. He goes in with the ignite, and will pick up the kill. The ultimate does get cancelled there, so Bezelheim will get away. Very nice play there from Bezelheim. Picks up the solo kill, and now we'll take an even bigger CS lead, 44-32, but I think a wave is hitting the turret right now. Or was hitting the turret as the kill went down. No longer there, of course, because it got killed off. But again, a very good start from ReBrand. They're looking very good here, but the Ezreal does have the tier and Sheen, so the lane should start going in Shirang and Super Segoi's favor after this back, I'd imagine. Still, the BF sword picked up for SWBF. All summoner spells up for both sides in the bottom lane. Flashes for both top laners coming up very soon. Tokashiro has his Predator on cooldown, though. You're gonna have to wait to make plays with that. Just the 2 stopwatches, actually, this game. For Vitress and Tokashiro. Tokashiro probably going to build a Zonia, so it makes sense to buy that. But Vitress also picked that one up. Just a generally useful item. It's in the inspiration tree anyway, so we thought he might just grab it. One of their decimating smash lands in the top lane. Klein hasn't traded too great against Beatrice, but the ganks have gotten him ahead. And he's been able to capitalize on those ganks and get the kills. Another gank mid lane looks to be set up for, but Bezline does have the ward there and will spot it. Keeps himself safe. So, one jungler playing around the mid lane, one jungler playing on the top lane, and not much happening in the bot lane right now, except Tokushiro might just change that. He is hovering around there now. Beatrice used the ultimate to stun up Klein. He's forced to use Hexagonal Maiden and then flash out. The Decimating Smash will not land. Screen goes forward. Klein will get away. So a flash trade for jungle for top lane flash. Probably, well, could have saved his own, but Scrin tried to go for the kill and wasn't able to quite get it with that flash. Tokushiro didn't find anything in the bottom lane, but did force Super Sugoi and Shirang off the wave. Shirang, maybe. He's added a lot of A's and R's in there. It's hard to keep up. If any players do want me to pronounce your names differently, you can just message me on Discord or whatever through the server, and I'll try and explain how to pronounce it, and I'll work on that. But you guys don't make it easy on me. Bezline now working his way down toward that Tri-Brush, just zoning off the bottom lane, and that will be the first Drake over. The Cloud Drake here at the 920 mark. Tokushiro. Will he hand off the blue buff? Looks like no. Bezline heading back to mid lane. Perhaps he'll pick it up after a bit. Don't believe Toxican handed it over his end either. Now 75 to 56 CS difference in the mid lane. Top lane about even, bot lane about even as well. Bezlime's done a lot with a little. Hasn't gotten any ganks and actually has gotten ganked himself. Has ended up with a solo kill despite that. Perhaps I need to wait for that level 6 mark. Paragon 5 did. Just wait for level 6 and then start ganking that lane with the ultimate up from Malzahar. Tried a little earlier and it didn't really work. And Bezline picked up the solo there. Well, Klein will land the hookshot onto Beatrice, but no response. Pretty even trade though, all things considered. Storm Razor now completed for SWBF, and Ezreal looking towards his first 2 items, stacking up that tier as Beatrice again gets straight on by Klein, and that press the attack doing a lot of damage. He's back to Colomane now. He's all in. Klein going in onto Beatrice. Again, lands the hookshot stun. The Zonya's used, but he should just die as soon as he comes out of that. No, the flash away! Oh my goodness, he's going to survive, Klein. He's going to get the hookshot at the moment. And looks like Tokushiro's here, and he will pick up the kill. Hookshot used to save Tokushiro. The Zonya used as well, but Klein's going to have to take this turret. And they will, actually. They both get out. Very, very close, but they both get out. Good tanking there from Klein as he's able to save Tokushiro's life. And that's the 3rd kill up top lane, but this time Tokushiro picks it up. Did go for the AP. Jungle item as his first item. As indicated by the stopwatch and the rune choice. Warrior also completed for Skirin. He's actually up slightly in CS because of all the ganks that Tokushiro has gone for. Now a Death Brush being set up here, Super Sugoi and Skirin waiting. Won't find anyone though, and they'll head back. At least Super Sugoi will, to the bottom lane. Cam will go in for the ult here. Skirin comes out of the ultimate, jumps onto Bezline, and he should fall. No, he's just living with a sliver of health. Tokushiro is here to help, but he might just go down. Bezline goes back in, will fall, but Toxican will as well. Now Skirin uses the ultimate, but will not catch up Tokushiro, so it is a 1-for-1 trade, and that's pretty good considering how that started there with the Malzahar ultimate and then into the Skirin gank. And looks like we got Gobi DCing again, so perhaps an internet issue or something going on there, but we'll just take a break for now. Both both junglers were looking for a gank mid lane there, and well, ended up being a 1-for-1 trade. Right now, there's a 400 gold lead for ReBrand, and they're looking to be in a pretty good spot. As the Frozen Heart was completed for the Scion, but a pause for now. Actually, we're already back. And as I say that, Klein's already going in for a trade. Able to dodge Decimating Smash there and forces the early cancel. Klein with a slight level lead as well. Shut down on both the top laner and the jungler here for ReBrand. Well, Shrang's walking through a wall. Okay, maybe that's just a visual lag for me, but he was walking through a wall there for a moment. Klein again. Okay. There was a problem with League servers, so that might be why we were experiencing some lag here. Klein going in again for a trade onto Vitris. Rinse and repeat from him. In the meantime, in the jungle, Skrin goes in, gets stunned up, does line with a flash over, and down he goes. Tokushiro with the kill there. Picking up that squishy bug in the jungle. And Gobi going to go in for a combo. Will find Super Sugoi, but SDBF nowhere to be seen. He's way too far away to help out. And actually, Gobi takes the worst end of that trade. Another Drake spawning here in just 25 seconds. Klein will hookshot away from out of turret range. Turret plating has fallen now, and still a turret yet to be taken down. Shutdown now available on SWBF. He's got 135 CS at 14 minutes. His gold is just looking very good, and he's sitting at 4,900 total and 1,400 at the bank right now. There's a 15 CS lead as well. The mid lane looking good as well for ReBrand. But holding steady in the top lane. Features and Klein still locked in a duel here. Despite the kills, he's managed to stay even in CS. Features doing his best to absorb the pressure for his team, but the rest of the map hasn't gone great. Iceborne Gauntlet is completed for the Ezreal, and the tier is at 376 stacks. Top laner's trading again, but doesn't usually result in much of anything. The Frozen Heart just kind of makes the stuff pretty difficult. Once the Triforce comes in, maybe there's some kill potential. Well, looks like the ult is invested here from both sides. Klein used the extra moment to keep Featureless where he wants him. We'll head out for now and going to go back in with the hook shot. This one misses, though. Vitris dodging upward. Decimating Smash misses again. Both players missing their crucial crowd control abilities. And so the fight fizzles out. In the meantime, the dragon was taken there. Tokushiro very on top of these objectives. Takes the dragon basically off cooldown. Fortunately for ReBrand, they don't get better spawns, but still. Cloud Drakes aren't bad for their team. They're pretty mobile, but if you can get even, if you can get even more speed on some of the champions, like Alistar being able to close the gap, Ari being able to close gaps, and all of them pretty much would love some more speed. Now Skarin comes in the top lane, will instantly delete Klein, and now Gobi was there as well as SWBF. That's why Klein was pushing up so aggressively, but a very nice play there from Skarin to flash in and just instantly deletes him. They tried for a lane swap, did ReBrand, but now they're probably going to lose their bot lane turret before. Yep. We'll get that turret in the bottom side. Of course, first gold has already gone over. But I thought there might be a chance for an extended push there, and that might give the advantage back over to Paragon 5, but they're just going to back off and not commit to it. So I thought it was going to be relevant, but they decided not to, especially with the kill on decline. I thought they might be able to stay there and deny the turret take and then get ahead in the bottom side. But now it's on to the Rift Herald and Gobi zoning Vitris. Going to stun him up. Toxican is here, but there's a TP in from Klein. The hook shot goes through, lands on a Toxican, but that's dodged by the spell shield, but now the charm isn't. And one kill picked up here. And body slam forward. The cask, whiz flashed, and the rest of ReBrand will disengage, but one kill picked up in the Rift Herald as well. That's going to be on Tokushiro. Might just summon right in the mid lane. Only a couple minions here. He's going to go for it, though. That turret is half health. I think a charge and a few autos will do it. Charge will definitely kill it now. Already dead before the Rift Herald gets a chance to. Very confused Rift Herald now. Where'd the turret go? Well, he's going to try it on the inner now. Shelly gets it off, and now engaged. The wave does miss, but Vitris lands his ultimate. Decimating Smash lands onto Gobi. Gobi flashes the bubble. Now Vitris, the focus on him. Klein gets suppressed, but will get away with the hook shot. And in the end, no one dies. Shelly did go for a big charge, but the turret survives as well. So just one turret in the mid lane. And no deaths. Triforce is completed for Klein. Skip the Tiamat to get that one earlier. So no wave clear for him in the side lane. It takes him a while to get rid of these waves without Tiamat. Such is the life of a Camille. Well, some more wards being cleared out here as we get our items and reset. Man immune. It's charging up. 599. 604 now. So he's close to completing that. Actually, pretty good pace here. Shrang did pretty good about stacking that tier. Picked it up early and has been constantly stacking that as you see him using those Qs as often as he can. Throwing out those autos as well. It's a little bit less damage here with the Iceborne Gauntlet. Toxican will pick up the blue buff, just barely. Very, very close there. Luden's completed for both mid laners, and Klein going in again. Hexagon made him used. Gets the recast of the Q, and Vitris is down to half health. The hookshot lands. Oh, nice! We'll get away. The Sign ultimate there used from Vitris to go unstoppable and deny the stun on the hookshot. If he hadn't used that, he probably would have died. No flash available for either top laner. 700 gold shutdown now onto Tokashiro, and a 500 gold shutdown onto SWBF, and Vitris caught in the sideline again. Has a jungler here to help him out. Hookshot will land, but Skrin is here. Comes out of stealth, and Klein realizes he bit off more than he can chew. Skrin will pick up the kill with the Q there, and tastes his fear for sure. Ends his life. In the mid lane, SWF and Gobi, though, will pick up the turret there. The inner falls. ReBrand continuing to extend their lead, even though they lost a member in the side lane. They're able to pick up something in exchange for it. The team mat is now complete for Klein, so he does have some more wave clearance and more split pushing potential. And this is where they want to be. This is where ReBrand wants to be. Their bot lane and jungler, roaming around in the mid and jungle area, and then they've got their two solo laners in the side lanes getting pressure. Rotation will come to the dragon now. The ocean, again, not great dragon spawns, but the ocean's never bad for these split push situations because you have the sustain available for that. So that even if you take a bad trade, you're able to go just back off for like, a couple seconds and heal up. And that way you can whittle down a tank like that. Because it's kind of hard to kill Vitris in just one go for Klein, so. Yeah, but Paragon 5 really can't team fight. They're just that far behind, and they're getting picked apart in the split push because they can't match it very well. And they've already lost map control. Will be the Sork shoes from Shrang. So perhaps going towards the second tier. I would imagine that would be the decision. And well, that Skull Crab will go over to Tokashiro. Skrin trying to sneak that one out. Klein again with a good trade in the top lane. Or bottom lane this time, rather. Still top laners at heart. Locket was the first item for the Alistair, which is interesting. Righteous Glory and Knight's Vow are a bit more popular options first, especially because Locket scales off of bonus health now. SWF and Gobi looking for a member in the side lane. Toxican there. The W is used. The combo does land. Toxican, the flash. Gobi will not be able to get the stun onto him, and he will survive. TP comes in for Vitris as well. He's going to try and engage. Lands a stun onto Gobi. The ult used to cleanse that, and the Deathwing Smash does land on the other side. Bezalime, though, lands a charm on a Shrang. He gets very low, but will survive. The Ignite will not kill him. Super Sugoi there to save him. And now, everyone will walk their separate ways. Bunch of summoner spells used, and ultimates, but no deaths on either side. Mana, the mana immune is transformed now. Was a while ago, but thought I'd mention it. Mirror mana now. Of course, Zonius was the first item for Tokushiro after the jungle item. Very, very useful when you're Gragas engaging so squishy. Bezalime gets smashed. Makes a big chunk. Did go for the Oblivion Orb there. I'm interested to see if he'll complete that into the Morello. I think it's pretty worthwhile because you are up against Nami, who's building Redemption first. So I would imagine that's probably worth it. Bubble will go in and find Gobi in the bush. Just checking. Klein maybe looking for a wraparound here to the red buff. We'll find it being taken by Shrang and makes his way back out. Toxican rotating over. Asta with BF will get his red buff, and Shrang will get his on the other side as well. Assuming no accidental steals from his teammates. Accidental, I say. Second tier is picked up as well for Shrang. 78 charges. So that'll be a whiles off, but could also complete it early on to get the faster charging, or he could decide to go for maybe a Vamp Scepter and into the Gunblade, or maybe he'll just go for the Blade of the Ruined King, or even a Guardian Angel early isn't terrible. We'll see what he decides. Definitely up to interpretation what you want to go for now. Could make an argument for any one of those items. But with the Sork Shoes invested in, and I would imagine there's probably going to be some more AP added on in some way. Well, the bubble, Gobi does flash, the bubble will survive. And now SW forces you the ultimate. Screen is going in, and now here comes the charging Vitris. We'll land the ultimate. And looks like that's going to be a dead bot lane. Tokushiro in to try and get a revenge kill, but he's forced to flash away. Screen goes in after him. He flashed forward, but Tokushiro's still running away. Bezalime, Tokushiro. Bezalime gets sewed up. Vitris continuing to charge forward, but there's no follow-up from his team. And good 2 picks there, but the rest of them survive. Bezalime dashes over the wall. Misses the charm, though. Only forced to dash back out. Still very nice pickoffs there, and that's a way that Paragon 5 can get back into the game. Looks like the second turret of the game will be picked up for Paragon 5, picking up the mid-outer. We'll rotate over the dragon here. 3 dragons already taken by ReBrand, but, well, Mountain's probably the best one yet, and looks like it will be secured. No. Might be a contest here from ReBrand. They're going in. 1,300. No, the dragon will go over. We'll see if they opt for a fight. Shrang with a double bus. Oh, they're going to back out, so just a little bit too late there. Will not commit to it. There's a potential to move over to the Baron now, though. There's not a ton of vision on the other side. Well, Tokushiro accidentally presses his Zonius, but that doesn't slow him down too much. The blue trinket will be invested here to try and check that one. I do see they're over in the river, but there's a lot of control wards here, and they're going to have to face check into a body slam, into a charm, into a combo from Gobi. That's pretty hard to face check into. It's going to have to be Vitris, who's face checks. And he will be the one. The charm does land, though. Oh, no, it lands onto the wrong member. Super Sugoi ate that one, and will go down to Bezalime. Just too much damage there. Bezalime dashes forward. Oh, lands another charm, and down goes Shrang. And on the other side, the ult is used on Tokushiro, but looks like he'll get out. No, will fall in the end. The damage over time. SWF forced to use his ult. Scrin in the back line, but gets rooted up. Now SWF continuing to kite away, but Scrin will finally find the kill. Kobe now is tanking in front line. Klein misses his hook shot. Klein did not hit the hook shot. Now Vitris might just get away because of that. Actually, the fight's being turned around. Scrin, well, now just a top laner and a support versus a top laner and a jungle. So an even 3v3 trade on each side as we get Super Sugoi respawning now. Rylai is now available, along with the parts For the next item hunting, guys. So a bit more utility for the Malzahar. On the other side, Ari is going for that Oblivion Orb, and is will not complete the Oblivion Orb into the Morello yet. He's going for, I think, a Banshee's Veil. That is what I would imagine for the next one. Redemption available for the Nami as well. And going to be Knight's Vow next for Gobi. Getting an Adaptive Helm, though, for Vitris is pretty nice. Definitely adds to his tankiness a lot with that passive. And Klein with the Ravenous Hydra is ready for that side lane fight. He'll definitely take control of that lane with that lifesteal. Always ASMR stream. Because I forget to unmute the desktop audio because we went to a pause. Blame it on the production staff. Who doesn't want to hear my voice? Well, mostly me. I don't like hearing my own voice. It sounds so different on recordings. It's bizarre. Will be the Archangel for Ezreal. Sitting on 400 stacks there. And the Kha'Zix has gone for the Youmu's. So not Duskblade, going to be Youmu's and Cleaver along with a Warrior. It's not going as tanky as the build was yesterday for Acid. A bit squishier, but a bit more damage. No Duskblade, though, is interesting. You know, going Youmu's over Duskblade is I would think not the choice for me, because Duskblade, especially with the lethality change, I think Duskblade is more lethality now, and you get the passive damage and things like that, so it's just more damage. But I guess he values the Youmu's movement speed. I guess comboed with the ultimate, it makes some sense. The amount of movement speed you can gain from Youmu's active with your ultimate, Nimbus Cloak, things like that. And now we have a standoff in the river. Oh, the Deathwing Smash does land on the Gobi. Bezline comes in, gets bubbled up in the backline, though. Simply Goy forced to flash away, but Shrang now DPS Bezline. Bezline will pick up the kill on Simply Goy in the backline. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Toxican and Klein are fighting. Toxican getting very low, the ultimate use. And I think Klein will survive. Both sides will. Toxican and Klein both going to run out with their lives. And Skrin is found on the other side. He gets stunned up, and actually no, he jumps over. Skrin able to get away. SB is flashing over, and we'll find the last auto to shut down Skrin. Well, that was a hectic fight, and in the end, basically a 2-for-1. It was a little bit of an extended 2-for-1, but who wants game sounds anyway? I'm like weird. Sometimes I like playing without game sounds quite a bit. As the Ezreal does come in, and will miss the dragon there. Well, misses the dragon on the Virtuoso who came in after the dragon was already dead. Another pause now. Yeah, see, this is why I mute the game sounds during the pause. You guys can't hear it, but all I'm hearing right now is the constant the sound of the scanner, like the I forget what the trinket's called, but the scanner trinket that reveals stuff. So literally all I'm hearing in my headphones right now is just like this constant sound. It's very, very annoying. So I'm trying to do you guys a favor. I just forget to unmute it, unfortunately. Well, sub's talking shit, but happy birthday to someone's sister. Don't know whose. Okay, I'm going to have to take my headphones off because that is very annoying. Yeah. Looks like no one's messaged me, so I don't know what the pause is for. We didn't have Gobi DC, so I think it is that we were told in the pregame that someone might have to leave to wish happy birthday to his sister or something. So I think that's the reason, which is clearly his priorities aren't in order. His family's more important than playing in an online League of Legends league. It is the birthday celebration time. That's why the pause did come through. So we can all wish Stefan's sister a happy birthday. Apparently, it's not a birthday party. It's apparently he's singing happy birthday. Why they're doing it now, I don't know. I don't know which coast he lives on. Because he's on the East Coast, it's like 10 o'clock. If he's on the West Coast, it's like 7, so that makes a little bit more sense. But I was told it was a sister, not a mom, not his mom, but I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if you guys are stupid or if you're making a bad joke. Could be both, really. I think both are true. This is a long happy birthday song, I gotta say. He's really belting it out. Maybe we should get a rendition afterwards. He should have brought his mic with him and we could have broadcasted live the happy birthday singing. In the meantime, ReBrand's still up quite a bit. About 5,000 gold-ish. Well, if you're rounding up, about 4.5, really. And looking for control of the game. Baron is still available here, 30 minutes in. We've got 4 drakes to 1. 3 cloud drakes and an ocean to a mountain on the other side for Paragon 5. This is sort of where the split pushing comps, they can get these last, inner turrets up in the next couple of minutes, but they need the Baron to really break open the base. They need the Baron to get the base, the inhibitor turrets, the base broken so that they can end the game. So that's their next objective, of course, and they've got vision control of that. But the actual execution is going to have to come through. We did see a steal yesterday, so perhaps that will come in again and turn this game around. This one's a bit closer too, so a steal could completely change the game and maybe turn it completely around and put Paragon 5 ahead. He's probably having a slice of cake too while he's at it. Completely abandoning us. Exactly. Win the game for your hamster's stepsister's boyfriend's son. I think that's the one he's playing hard for. Well, at the very least, he can bring them good news that the game is going well. I'm not sure how they'd feel about his club tag or whatever. It's clubs, I think, yeah, it's clubs. That might be a source of shame for the family. There we go. We're back in it. Should be momentarily. There we are. We're back. You know, remember to unmute the desktop audio this time. But believe me, I just saved you guys like 5 minutes of hearing the scanner sound. So you're welcome. You don't have to all say it, but you're welcome. Besides, ASMR is big nowadays anyway. I just need to like, I don't know, get rice and like sift through it or whatever. Start speaking into the microphone. Constantly using P's without a pop filter. That sort of thing. That's what ASMR is all about, really. Because, wow, that Mystic Shot does a lot of damage now. Also knocks out the Banshee's Veil, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I can say happy birthday. Who am I supposed to say happy birthday to? QSS also purchased here for Klein. As well as for SWBF, but no one else has got one. Usually you'll see QSS on everyone when you're playing as Malzahar, but people are forgetting how annoying that is. Suppose... Obviously you don't need it on the Alistair because of his ultimate, but... Well, now Tokashira going in. Pops Predator. Forces the flash from Sharang. Nice cooldown to get out. We'll clear the wave with the true shot. Now Spring going in on the side lane. The bubble does land. Super Sugoi along with Spring trying to get his kill on the bezel line. The jump forward. Oh, it lands a kill with a W. Very nice play from Spring there. Big pick off the sideline as well. Now Climb will pick up a kill in the meantime onto Sharang. No flash to get away from that. And Hex Mulligan was also used. Now Beatrice forced to flash away, but will die as he does so. Sugoi not able to save his buddy there. And now 1-4 straight overall across the map. And apparently I'm told to say happy birthday to our president in our collapsed government, which is a pretty nice way to start this off. I'm glad we can all bond over the fact that our government is slowly collapsing. Very nice. Unless you're Canadian, then it's already happened, so. Now Skrin trying to face check this brush. Oh, we'll see them though. With the trinket. It's pretty hard to get vision around that wall there, so like Gobi, without the ward being placed down, couldn't actually see a combo over it. Because of the way the wall is. League of Legends is weird like that. Some of the walls like prevent vision, some of them don't. They're very, very strange. Looks like we do have the Gunblade here. Sharang gonna go for the Gunblade after this, after the Archangels, so that will be his what, 4th item plus boots. But that's gonna give him a lot of healing and AP. Like those W's and ultimates are gonna burst a lot at the end of this game because there's no real tanks here on the other side. All pretty squishy, not a ton of MR. So with the penetration and all this. AP is going to have at the end. He's going to hit pretty hard. He's going to be focused more on casting in the late game than auto attacks, really. Skill shots are going to be important. Usually it's the other way around with AD carries. You focus more on spells in the early game and less on them in the late game, but for Ezreal, it's... Especially with this build, it's, you know, the other way around. Ezreal, I'm going to go ahead and try and get rid of this control ward. We'll do, well, Paragon 5 takes out the control ward and he's able to take out that ward, so both players deny vision, but the blue buff. Ezreal, I'm looking for the steal, the Q used. We'll get the blue buff actually. Ezreal, I'm able to pick that one out. Sorry you couldn't see that one. We don't have the ability to zoom out here, so there wasn't a way to get everyone in frame. Fortunately, that capability is not given to us. You gotta have like a special admin or some shit to get that. But in the meantime, though, has picked up the inner turret in the bottom lane. So just one turret outside the base remaining here for Paragon 5. But they've been able to extend this game all the way to 35 minutes, which is really longer than you would imagine them going, especially after that early game. They've done a good job, but now the Baron turn is here. Just 3 people on it right now. Klein using the bottom lane, pressuring his inhibitor turret. That's where he really really shines. But now the charm, Bezelheim lands one again. Super Sugoi goes down, and again to Bezelheim. Airang forced to shift away. A Toxic Hand knocked away by Gobi, and he will fall. Sprint into the backline. Bezelheim will not fall though, and Shrang will. Very good fight there, and looks like Klein is still working his way on the hero turret in the bottom lane. Well, looks like, yep, Klein will pick up the inhibitor turret here. We'll find the inhibitor, we'll back off. The dragon can be taken here. What will be the other Drake? So it looks like they're moved from the Elder Drake all the way over to the Baron and try and take it in that order. So that way their turn off Baron is better because they have the damage from the Elder. As well as the fact that I think, you know, they had a member dead, I believe, so they wanted to get the Baron on everyone. Maybe? Well, they got the Elder on everyone anyway. And now, with not a ton of wave clear, it's pretty hard for... Oh no. Oh no. Bezelheim lands the charm. Skrin doesn't know what happened. And he's probably going to fall. No, actually, Skrin fighting back. Zone the stopwatch used. Skrin gets charmed again. But oh no! The shield! Ah, not quite enough. Subizuko's area was not quite enough to save the life of Skrin there. Rikios is now on the other side. Kikushiro now picking his own up, and now here's Baron. With Elder Drake, they burn this down pretty fast. And no contest, Skrin is dead. A good pickup from Bezelheim. And oh, now the first game looks like it's going to head over to rebranded side. Of course, he's still got to close this one out here, but they've got Baron and Elder. Plus one inhibitor already exposed. Fine, hookshot's over, will not find the stun. May extend a little bit too far, forced to flash over. He also used the QSS. And now another chunk out onto Bezelheim, so... This poke actually forcing back ReBrand. With the Ocean, though, they should be able to heal up pretty quickly. Charm does miss that time for Bezelheim. He's hit most of those, but not that one this time. Looks like the wave is used. Ult forward. Gobi looking for a combo, but he's all alone. Will ultimate, but now just the bubble hits right after. The locket already used in this fight, and cutting back. ReBrand trying to find a better fight for themselves. Flash forward. The Decimate smash will in. That's WF and Gobi. Bezelheim on the side. Jumps back over. Screen now trapped on the other side of the wall. The backline, though, ReBrand is picking up the kills, and looks like the main damage sources will fall. The bottom lane already dead, and Beatrice will follow in their footsteps. That's 3 dead. The zombie, and now the resurrect from Skrin, but that's pretty much all that's left, and that should be the game off the back of this fight. Toxic Hand's still alive, but it's 1 against 5 here, and looks like ReBrand will take game 1. Baron buff still active. Elder Drake does time out, but these 2 minions probably going to be more than enough to take this down. Toxic Hand does his best, but that's going to be all she wrote. ReBrand takes game 1. It's a long one with all the pauses and all the happy birthdays we had to give out, but in the end, ReBrand is victorious. And we're going to take a quick break before Game 2, and then we'll be right back. And, thanks for sticking around. We'll hopefully have as exciting a Game 2 with all the pauses, all the happy birthdays, and we'll get some more ASMR from me. Okay, we're back for game 2 now. Aurelia gonna be the first ban here. Alright, good. They did switch sides. Don't need to worry about the labels now. It's like we've had a couple games where they switch sides, where they don't switch sides. So my odyssey with the labels continues. But I was right tonight. I'm pretty happy about that one. And Such wanting me to follow up again, another strong jungler. So pretty similar ban phase again. I think the exact same from game 1. But we'll see if there's a switch up here. Considering the loss for Paragon 5, or well, they're pretty much sticking with it. As a run back of the first bans might just be imminent. All the same so far. And looks like, yeah, we're going to run it back. Same bans from game 1. I think it might have been a slightly different order, but... or maybe not. I don't know. They flipped the sides. My brain's all confused. Ari going to be the first pick here, so a change up this time because we are on different sides. First pick for ReBrand. They're going to go with Ari first here for Bezalime. Had a pretty good performance on it last game with his landing all his charms, so they're going to say, hey, let's do it again. And we'll see if we get similar team comps overall. Lulu, well, that's going to switch it up for sure. Lulu and Nico going to be the first 2 picks here. I was wondering when we're going to see our first Nico, and well, there might have been some off stream, but at least our first on stream game with Nico here. Like we talked about earlier, was lots of different things. You know, different philosophies on Nico. Some people banning it, and some people not even touching it. No picks, but there were some bans of it. Alistair again, so getting pretty much everything they want here is ReBrand. They've got, well, the pick of the jungle pretty much. They have the Kha'Zix again. Obviously, there were 2 jungle bans against them, but they have pretty much a pick of a lot of junglers here. Like, it's not, there's tons of stuff to play. And Gragas will be the decision here for Tokushiro. So again, 3 same champions for ReBrand. On the other side, though, I'm excited to see what they do with this Nico. It is interesting to note that Skrin is holding the Ignite right now, along with a Smite, which indicates a Shaco. Okay, there you go. I'm right. Shaco's going to be the pickup here. I was curious about this because the only real player, champion that goes with Ignite and Smite in the jungle is Shaco, unless you're doing something crazy with like Pantheon, I guess. But that's the only champion that really does that. So Shaco going to be the option for Skrin. But the reason this is kind of bad in competitive play is because you can invade as the enemy team, and you can get rid of all the boxes, which means that Shaco's clear will be really, really delayed. So unless you like accidentally walk in, you get 5-man aced, right, or just something goes bad early on, you can slow down Shaco's clear like just really, really far. Basically, the Shaco will be very far behind the enemy jungler. So that's why it's not really great in competitive play. But as I've been saying that, we got some more bans in here. Darius from Acton again. So ReBrand, exact same draft for them pretty much so far, except for the order. But exact same draft for the most part. And on the other side, Lucian, Vayne will be the ADC bans here. Vayne wasn't banned in game 1, but Lucian was. And a couple different hovers here. Vladimir going to the pick here. And probably Toxican will take that in the mid lane against the Ahri, which, Pool, a great way to dodge with the charm. Could be a bot lane Vladimir with Lulu pick. That seems unlikely. We do have Nico, though, so it might be more top lane Vladimir and Nico mid lane. There's lots of different options you could do, I guess, but who knows what's going on. We'll figure it out eventually, but the Ezreal will be picked up here for SWBF now. Again, not going with the Xayah a second time. It is open, I believe. Yep, it is open. But not going to go for it. It's going to be the Ezreal this time. And Gnar in the top lane. So pretty similar picks for the first stage, and then completely swapped up in the second round here for ReBrand. Ezreal and Gnar getting the picks And will be an Aatrox. Okay, so it is Vladimir. Well, this is strange. It is Vladimir bot lane. I was saying, well, it's possible Vladimir goes bot lane, but I don't know why you would if you've picked a Lulu. So Aatrox top lane against the Gnar, and then you have Vladimir Lulu bot against Ezreal Alistair. And then you have a Shaco jungle. So I don't know what's going on, but something's crazy is going to happen. I was excited to all talk about Nico, be like, oh, Nico's new, Nico's fresh, I'd love to see her and all this other stuff, but I got so much other stuff to worry about, I don't know if I can. And, well, I'm not even sure what to break down here, because I think Lulu and Vladimir are a bad bot lane duo, to be honest here. Vladimir is hovering the TP, and Lulu has the exhaust. I think they're a bad bottom lane duo, because Lulu really wants traditional AD carry to buff up. The one thing that Lulu can do in the late game, though, is that Shaco's a very auto-attack-based champion. So you can, buff him up with your attack speed steroid, and that could be pretty useful. Obviously, though, he's not as good at consistent DPS because he has to sort of jump in and out as an assassin. Like, he's not just there to sit there and auto. He's a melee champion. So he's not really the really champion you want to buff up. Lulu did switch to heal at the last second there. And barrier for Nico will be the option in the mid lane. And still TP for the Vladimir, of course. Yeah, that terrain was pretty good on the Ezreal last game. And we've had a couple of good Ezreals in the league, so makes sense to sort of pick it away from him. And Ezreal Alistair, a classic combo, so makes sense from the side of ReBrand. But Paragon 5 is just sort of thrown the playbook out the window, I guess. And they're just going to have some fun with it, I suppose. Just another minute and a half or so of the delay. And then we'll be on to game number 2. Not sure if it's enough time for me to do some ASMR, but please let me know if that's more. I can start an ASMR channel on YouTube, and you guys can all subscribe to that if you want. Unfortunately, I think I'm lacking some of the skills necessary to be an ASMR artist, but I can always try my best. Yep, just another 45 seconds or so. The Shaco's an interesting champion because, again, he's another champion that got sort of ruined by the changes to runes. He lost the Dark Harvest, which was a big blow to him. So he's gone back to more fleet footwork and played a bit more bruisery, less one shot because you don't have the damage from Dark Harvest. So you play, more like a bruiser. AP Shaco still not viable, but you can always give it a try if you want to. And Nico on the other side, well, she's a true mage. There's lots of clever things you can do, though. One of the reasons you would pick Shaco and Nico together is because of the clones. Shaco can obviously create a clone with his ultimate, and then Nico can create clones of her own, and also disguise herself as a Shaco. So actually knowing which clone is which is the real Shaco, which is the real Nico being the fake Shaco is going to be really difficult to realize. So that's something that you're going to have to deal with. Obviously, this only comes up in the mid game, but that's something you really have to figure out. There are ways to tell. Some of them are glitches, so if you have Ignite ticking and things like that, it can sort of reveal who's who. Some debuffs can do that as well. There's a couple different ways of doing it, but for the most part, it's still pretty difficult to tell. Either way, we're hopping into game 2 here. ReBrand is up 1-0. over Paragon 5, and they've gone for something very unorthodox here in the game 2 in hopes of striking back. And the coin start from Lulu, so no Spell Thieves out of her. Also for the Shaco, he went for the refillable potion, not the rejuvenation bead start, which some people go to get them a faster team at. You try and, you know, means you're a little bit lower in the jungle. Not too much, but a little bit. With that rejuvenation bead. And looks like he's going to throw the boxes down on the red buff. And he's recruited all of his teammates to come help guard the jungle with him. So what this does is it protects the boxes and stops an invade from disrupting those. But the downside of this, of course, is that you have everyone on one side. So when you go back to your own, you know, the other side of the jungle in the bottom side, it's very dangerous. They have placed a ward down there, though, to try and spot on that blue buff. But here comes the invade. 4 members strong. Gobi's still sitting at their red buff. As Shurang tags SWF with an auto, and the Mystic Shot flies wide. So that invade will be repelled. Looks like they will have a ward on it, but everything should start without a hitch for the most part. Let's just... So you can see there's a box here at the Krugs. You put this down as one of your last boxes before you the red spawns, so that you can have 2 boxes on the Krugs when you actually do them. And this allows you to clear them obviously much faster. So that way you get 4 boxes down. Because if you put 3 on the red buff, it's kind of unnecessary and redundant. So that's why you do that. It obviously gives you access to the Krugs clear, which gives you more XP. Allows you to level 3 off of just the red Krugs and Scuttle. You don't need all the Krugs to do it. You need, like... I think you need, obviously, the 2 starting spawning Krugs, then you need the 2 of the big ones that come out and all the little ones out of that, I think. You don't need all the medium-sized ones. I'm sure there are... I don't know if there's specific names for the size of the Krugs, but it's all very confusing. You don't need all of them is what I'm trying to say. You need most of them to hit level 3 off the Scuttle. After that weird, long-winded explanation, we can move on. And the potential gank mid lane. The Shaco is hanging around. This is a comment from Nico for a little bit more lane poke presence. Klein goes mega top lane and starts to bully out Vitris. Comment for Vitris as well in the top lane. Shaco back to clearing. Skrin on the blue buff now. Did pick up the Scuttle, and Tokashira has done... He went blue to red to Krugs. It looks like. And this Shurang Tubizagoi with this Vladimir Lulu bottom lane is very interesting. You did see, of course, a lot of Vladimir after the complete nerf of all the 80 carries in the last season, and they were pretty much all useless. So had a ton of Vladimir and Swain. Now, one of the changes that come in though was the increased cost of Tiamat. Tiamat's now $13.50 instead of $12.50, I believe. Or instead of $13.50 instead of $12.00, excuse me. And that means that for champions that need to pick up Tiamat on their first back, things like Rengar, things like Shaco, which is obviously in our game right now, but these champions that rely on Tiamat to clear the jungle effectively, you know, the AoE camps like Raptors, Krugs, and Wolves, they really struggle without it, and so when they don't back with it first, it really hurts them. And with this price increase, you're much more likely not to get it on the first back, and that means that those champions sort of indirectly got nerfed, even though the item, I think they compensated it with a little bit more AD, but it really hurts their clears overall in the mid game if they're not able to get it on the first back. So when they get behind, the situation gets even more exacerbated because of that, because they're relying on that AoE clear of the Tiamat. But we'll just have to wait to see that after the pause. Shaco's sitting on 24 CS. He's got 900 gold in the bank right now, so he needs another 350 or so to pick that one up. Which is, you know, it's quite a chunk of gold. You essentially have to wait for a second respawn of your jungle, get a kill, like double scuttle or something like that. We're right back in game after this pause. So it's a pretty major difference, really, to get that Tiamat. Which I don't really think... The change to me never really made sense because... Well, as I say that, Features and Klein about to fight as we get the lag again. I think it's League servers. I don't think it's my internet that's lagging tonight. Could be wrong on that, but... Not experiencing any lag otherwise, I don't think, unless the stream is. But as I'm saying, that Screen going for his first gank in the top side. I'm not finding anything though. Klein able to get away. Does flash, but flashes to safety. The Tiamat, not quite available yet. Needs a couple more camps here. So going back to Clement Krugs now is Scrin. Nothing too eventful in any of the lanes really, except for that flash from Klein, and so been a pretty slow early game. Speaking of slow, Gobi's trying to change that here. Combo in, Super Sugoi forced to flash. Shirang uses the pool already. Super Sugoi getting very low. The Ignite, one more auto, will take him down. SWF with the first blood. Flashing after there for the auto. Super Sugoi used his own heal and his own flash as well. So first blood drawn there. Gobi with a nice flash combo. Sets up the gank, and good follow from Tokushiro and SWBF. All three flashes used from those guys. Klein cutting inside of these Qs. Klein lands one Klein though. He's about to go Mega. The pullback though, Vitris. Scared of the level 6 mark, and as he does hit it, Klein's about to go Mega. Could make a huge play here, but he's going to back off, looks like. Going to play it safe this time. Nico gonna pick up the Lost Chapter, so Lud and Zeko gonna be their first item. And Scrin going for a gank in the mid lane. Bezelheim has no mana, the box put down. Bezelheim very, very low. The fear comes in, needs a couple more autos, and Bezelheim will flash away to survive that one. Scrin, though, the clever little gank, almost gets the kill there. I think if he ignited there, he would have killed. Did have it ready. Maybe not. So you actually check this up. Does it give the information on the level here? Yeah, 180 damage. So it would have been very, very close. Very, very close picking up the kill there. Oh. The grievous wounds were picked up for Gnar pretty much immediately. On his first back, Executioner's calling there. Wants the grievous wounds to stop the healing from the Aatrox. Of course, there's lots of healing all around here. The Vladimir. Shaco might pick it up with some lifesteal later on, and Lulu might get the Athenes, you know, so some more healing as well. Grievous wounds were picked up in the bottom lane for the Ezreal as well as TBF. Along with a tier though, so he does have that stacking. Scrin again, ganking in the mid lane here. The charm was used on the clone from Toxican. So they're continuing to try to gank this mid lane. It doesn't work out this time though. And a CS lead has opened up for Bezelheim. 64 to 53, 10 CS lead. About. Now 10. No, they keep killing minions, changing the gap. And Klein in trouble here. Hops away, but gets pulled back. Beatrice needs a little bit more damage, but Tokushiro is up here to try and kill him. Ultimate used, cast back. Gets slowed again by more slows. Here's Skarin going in, but Beatrice has already gotten the kill. And now Skarin, the Ignite will kill him. Skarin comes in to help out his top laner Beatrice with a nice 2v1, bought some time, and great counter gank there. So now 2 for 0 in the top side, and the turret plate's going to be taken down. Gobi and SWF. Not too happy with all that healing that's going on there. Toxican lands the root onto Bezlime, and we'll chunk him out for a little bit of damage. Was a CDR boots right away for the Vladimir Shrang. Wanted extra healing. CDR, a great stat on Vladimir, plus the movement speed is good against Alistar. Will be the attack speed boots, the Berserker Greaves first for the Shaco. All pretty standard stuff out of him so far in terms of build. Did go for the Electrocute over the Fleet Footwork, which has been the choice of some Shaco players. Now Toxican's caught in the wrong spot. He's going to ult. Gets the double stun there, and now... Oh, no, Sivasagoi going to save Toxican there with his own ultimate, and a big 2 kills going over. And now SWF caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Down he goes with double kill there for Toxican. And the Dragon secured. Cloud Drake goes over to Skrin with that smite, and... looks like a Paragon 5 just might strike back here. They're looking pretty good at the start of Game 2 with this little bit of unorthodox draft, but still, it's working out for them so far. Some wards can be cleared up here in the top side jungle. Looks like Vitress is pretty much the run of the lane now. Skrin, though, looking for a gank in the mid lane. Toxican again absorbs the charm with the clone, and... well, that's a dead Bezlime. For the first time today, but certainly not the first time they tried. But Bezlime this time. Not solo killing his opponent. Gets camped 2 games in a row, and this time it actually works. Well, the Needlessly Large Rod is going to be the first AP item, along with a Kindle Gem from the Vladimir. So this is kind of an interesting couple items to be picked up here. I'm not sure what this is going to be, considering you got a Kindle Gem as well. I would say Proto Belt, but obviously the Needlessly Large Rod doesn't really fit into that. I would have expected him to pick up the, you know, the Hextech Revolver instead of the Needlessly Large Rod, if you wanted to go that first. But could have just gone Kindle Gem for the CDR, and then he's going to build something out of the Needlessly Large Rod. We'll see. As his Q is starting to hurt pretty bad there. SWBF is just taking a lot of damage. His Gobi gets the blood sucked out of him as well. The one question I have about Vladimir is, like, I get that he's a hemomancer or whatever the term is. He's not a vampire. He's, you know, like, sucks the blood out of people. But how does that work against, like, Blitzcrank? Because Blitzcrank doesn't have blood. Well, as I philosophize, Bezlime's going to go aggressive on the Toxican. The Unite goes down, but a flash away from Toxican. Looks like we're going to calm down there. A little bit of fighting, but now the Charm lands again. Bezlime, no, will not get the kill. No damage to follow that up. No ultimate or ignite. In the meantime, though, Rift Turtle was picked up by Shaco. 93 to 61 in CS right now. Shaco's quite far ahead in the jungle there. Up 2 levels right now, and well, this Shaco pick's certainly working out for him. I'm excited to see the shenanigans of all the clones as well. See if that happens for the Nico Shaco duo. Scobie and SWBF. The CS is actually in their favor, but they've been taking some pretty bad trades here with the constant blood sucking from Shrang. And Vitress going to go aggressive on Klein. In the mid lane, though, Bezlime is going to get taken by a Skrin. Toxican actually going to finish that one off, and now Tokashiro in trouble. Flashes away, but the chase is on. Stopwatch used, but that's probably... Oh, no! No. Just kidding. He's dead anyway. In the meantime, Vitress is going to kill Klein up top lane with a big slam down of his sword. And the Rift Herald going to drop the mid lane, so looks like ReBrand not following up their game 1 effort here. Paragon 5 striking back. Already got 1 turn in the mid lane. The Inner now under fire, and that might just drop as well. The attack speed from Shaco, that does make taking down turrets quite a lot easier. And here we go. Might even get a charge on the inhibitor turret as well. In fact, it will, as Sigrin and Toxicant head back out. Not wanting to overextend too much. That inhibitor turret already down about halfway. So this complete overall of their strategy has got Paragon 5 in the lead. As Toxicant will find Gobi in the jungle here, and Gobi forced to use his ultimate. Toxicant will not quite find the kill. Sigrin on the other side, picking off some Krugs. Don't really like the new run animation from Shaco, personally. But it certainly does look goofy. Fits his character a little bit, I guess. Of course, many lore revamps. Now with Charmlands, though, Bezlime will just screw into half health. Still had the Q, I believe, so was not really in danger of dying as he heads over to try and kill that dragon. Cloud Drake already picked up for Paragon 5, and they will secure the ocean now. Pretty bad spawns for the dragons overall. Oceans and clouds. Just the one mountain for us after like 7 drakes. Beatrice again going on decline, and he's forced to flash again. Beatrice dominating this laning phase so far. 135 to 101 in CS. Very tough. Bezlime's still winning in the mid lane, but you know, in terms of the creep score, but the difference is more than made up for all the kills, I think. Yeah, definitely the kills make up for it. Gobi here to help out his little Yorda friend in the top lane, but no opportunity to go on and force a fight. And looks like it was just the Kindle Gem for CDR, and the Spellbinder will be purchased out of the easily large rod. Duskblade will be the first option here for the Shaco. Pretty standard here, but we're going to get ganked here. Speaking of Shaco, he's going in, trying to kill Klein, and he will do so. Beatrice there as well, tanking up that turret. And the ultimate won't really mean anything in the end, but it looked cool. Again, lots of big shutdowns on the members in the top side of the map. 700, 650, 550. So there's a lot of gold we picked up there for ReBrand to come back in this one. Scrin, though, caught in a bad place. Used the ultimate to dodge the first part of the combo, but gets pulverized. Scran will takes down Tokashiro very fast. Gobi now in danger. He will fall. Double kill there for Scrin. They thought they were catching him, but no. He was catching them. Flash forward from Sharang will force the flash from SWBF. The ult was invested. And, well, forces him back and gets some damage on this turret, but the Vladimir, not the best turret taker there is. Gonna be the Yomus for the Aatrox after the Cleaver. And Triforce for the Shaco. Sharang gonna steal that big Krug away. Banamute charging. That's 600 stacks roughly now. And the blue buff going to be taken away as well. Redemption going to be first item for Lulu. So lots of healing available. And the 2 grievous wounds purchases will certainly help with that. Scoby's forced to flash away in the jungle. And the pulverize does not land. He goes down. That's always the worst feeling as a support, because you kind of got to get wards around, and well, you die a lot of times for it. Feature still owns his lane in the bottom side here, as I say that, he takes down Klein with a great ease there. Just walks up to him and right, slaps him with that ultimate, and down he goes. So Paragon 5 with a nice response. They might just close this might just close this one out early. Here at 18 minutes, it's 14-1 in kills, 4-0 in turrets, and they look to be in a commanding lead. I'll say though, this Shaco and Nico performance has been amazing. Like, they've done a really good job together. I haven't seen any too much shenanigans with the clones and things like that, but Toxican certainly knows how to use the clones. He's eaten the charm several times from Bezelheim with the clone, which is huge because Bezelheim has been getting a lot of picks off with that. Red, though, going on to SWBF here in the bottom side. Does have some armor, though, so he doesn't die instantaneously, as you might expect from a Shaco. Glacial Shroud is purchased for him. And now the flash forward from Tokashiro, but dodge there. Skrin dodges the ultimate with his own. The hallucination as he has a little victory celebration there after the fact. Well, those are some fast fingers. Skrin showing why he's already got 5 kills. Beatrice coming in. Lands the first 2 Qs, the third will miss, though. And now we go on to the dragon here. Skrin gonna secure this third one. No smite available, but no one here to contest. Third Drake again. We've got double Cloud and Ocean. 4 ring spawns so far. Toxican will get this blue buff here. Beatrice threatening a little bit of a fight there. Backs off. Klein now found Super Sugoi in the jungle. He'll be forced to flash. Skrin in behind Bezelheim. He gets some damage done, but the ultimate used to dodge away. The charm is in. Skrin! He gets shut down. Big shutdown there. Gobi with 950 gold, and Klein in on the backside here to try and harass. Will not find an engage there. Not Mega quite yet. Veritas in the brush lands 2 knockups. The third will miss. SWF able to shift away. Now the ultimate used. There. Oh, he needs just one more auto. Beatrice will not get it though. Will revive from his ultimate. Now Gobi caught again. And the ultimate comes in. Toxican does a lot of damage. Will take down Gobi. Sharang also kills Klein. And oh, SWF will die to Sharang in the end there. Not sure what killed him. There was no ignite on him. Maybe a pesky minion somewhere. Always the classic death when you just see a minion shot traveling a mile across. Beatrice gonna go ahead and work on this turret in the bottom side, and Sharang, Subasugoi, and Toxican working on the one in the top side. Tokashiro will try and clear these minions. We'll do so. We'll be the Ghostblade next, actually. Skrin had a Sapphire Crystal in his inventory, but I guess he sold it and decided to go for the Ghostblade after, instead of the Triforce after the Dustblade. Skrin will continue to take the red buffs because there's really no one else who wants it. Maybe the Aatrox, but Skrin does auto way more, so it makes sense. Probably going to be a finished Morello here for Bezelheim because he needs the Grievous Wounds, but we'll see. Usually sits on the Oblivion Orb for a while as a sort of his general build order. Klein going to headbutt the turret in the bottom lane, as a Death Rush was being set up for ReBrand. But Paragon 5, having none of it. Toxican going to get the blue buff over here from Skrin. Protobelt was the item after the Spellbinder from Sharang. Also picked up the Soul Stealer. So he's hoping he can pick up a few more kills before this game's over. Knight's Vow is the first item for Gobi as opposed to the Locket like last game. And looks like they're going to start the Baron here. 23 minutes. They've got the Vladimir and the Shaco, but they also have the Shaco clone, which definitely helps take objectives like Dragon and Baron. And it's completely undetected right now. Baron going down pretty fast. The clone is already low, but actually will be taken out. But lots of damage being done. The constant backstabs are coming in, and Skarin looks like he will secure this one. Does have Smite, but he's going to save it this time. Baron is taken here. And Paragon 5 is in continuously full control of this game from start to probably the finish, unless something crazy will happen here. There's always a chance for a comeback. If you've ever seen the Jin Air Green Wings game against SKT that went for, I think, it was an hour and 40 minutes, and they lost all 3 inhibitors multiple times, but they were able to come back and actually win the game in the end. Sorry, spoilers, but it was like 3 years ago, or not 3 years. It was like a year. It was like a year ago. Exaggerating slightly. Yeah, this looks to be a dominating performance. Gobi goes in though. He's found Sharang, knocks him back into the team. Gonna use that W to try and get away here. Goes on target. Oh, will flash out as well. Sanguine Pool saving his life there. Shrang able to get out of a bad situation. Beatrice will try to look forward for something, but misses all the cues. The cast used again, but Shrang is still in that pool. Oh, huge ultimate though. Klein with a huge Gnar ultimate. Now on the other side, the rest of the team is coming in. Toxican with a lot of damage down, but just 1 kill to each side so far of Skarin. I'm not finding anything on the backside of this. So the rest of ReBrand will walk away all battered and bruised, and despite a really good engage there from Klein, the fight actually wasn't won, and Paragon 5 essentially comes out on top because while they did trade 1 for 1, they have way more health, and now they're pushing with the Baron here onto the inhibitors, both the mid and bottom ones. Skrin now behind everyone, no one knows he's there. Gets some damage on the Bezlam, and down he goes, already dead. Skrin used the ultimate. Now just having some damage, and that will be an inhibitor. Probably going to rotate over to the bottom lane inhibitor now. So that will be 2 inhibitors down now, and the third going to be worked on in the top side here by Skarin. Turret falls now, and the Baron is still available. 26 minutes now, and they've already gotten in the base. Paragon 5 looking strong in game 2. Third inhibitor will stand for now, but it's the last one available. Skrin also going to get the last Whisper here, so instead of going for Triforce, he's gone for a more straight-up damage one-shotting build.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Deathcap going to be the option for Toxican after this, and probably for Shrang as well. Got the Chalice for the Lulu. Well, the QSS, pretty useful. Lots of CC to cleanse. There's not cleanse suppressions apparently though. The Chalice doesn't. Suppression's the one thing it doesn't cleanse. Already got a successful cleanse out of it. As we get some stopwatches in the inventories as well. 1,000 gold shutdown here on Vitris, 500 on Skarin, and 1,000 on Toxican. Don't tell him he Toxicant because he Toxican. Only 2 charges though on this Soul Stealer. I don't know if that was the greatest investment. Preps are going to fight here. Gobi looking for the engage on the front end of this. Super minions are working their way in the bottom lane, and Skrin is escorting them through the mid lane. Beatrice moving forward here. Gobi will pulverize. And looks like we're going to get the last team fight of the game potentially here. Beatrice is knocked away. And the third inhibitor will fall. In just a couple moments, the third inhibitor falls. No Baron buff, of course, anymore, but 2 lanes of supers plus a third lane. Could mean the end is here. Klein gets taken down almost immediately. As soon as he was CC, the damage came through and down he goes. Beatrice charging forward again. The Lulu ult on him. Cast will knock him away. Toxicant in the backline will find Gobi, and he will go down shortly. Bezelime in the backline is in Zonias, but will fall to Skrin after that. And that should be the end of the game here. Skrin walks into the fountain with his clone for some celebration. And there you go, game 2. Over to the side of Paragon 5, so now we're all tied up 1-1 in the series. A fantastic second game there from Paragon 5. Went completely the other direction with their team comp, threw it all out the window, and came up with a great game in game 2 and even out the series here. All right, and with that, we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back for game 3, so just stick around, and we'll get the thrilling conclusion of this series, I'm sure. Now we are back for our third and final game between ReBrand and Paragon 5, and well, an immediate ban of the Shaco here as a response to game 2, which went very, very poorly for ReBrand there. Paragon 5, or excuse me, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Paragon 5 did a great job with the Shaco, is what I'm saying. Skrin had a very nice performance on that one, so it's going to prompt the ban from ReBrand. And Sitch wanting to follow it up on the other side, so a lot of things sticking through. Game 2 was pretty much the exact same pick ban phase with just 1 or 2 changes, basically. So teams pretty much sticking to their guns on the enemy players and what they want to get rid of. But the Shaco is certainly worth a change based on how that went in the last game. Also going to be the Nico here, so Morgana going to stay on the chopping block, but are going to switch out Shaco and Nico for it. ReBrand did not like that mid-jungle duo. Very hard to deal with the clones. There wasn't a ton of the clone synergy, but there was a little bit, and that means that it's tough. It's tough to deal with, and they're just going to say we're not going to deal with it at all. But now Aurelia going to go unbanned for the first game here, and it's going to be first picked. Klein or Bezlime could pick this up. Not sure who will, but Aurelia will be the first pick, and Ari the Camille the response here. So Toxican going to pick that one away from Bezelheim, which means that the Aurelia might go mid because of that. And Camille also, well, we'll see if that's jungler top lane Camille. Was top lane in game 1. Pyke also a champ that has the chance for some explosiveness. Now we picked up. So a lot of damage already on the board here for ReBrand, as they're going to add the Poppy to their list, which is certainly a champion that can complement damage well, has a lot of utility, some CC, and of course tankiness to go along with that. So going to add that one and provide some front line for the 2 damage sources already picked up. Of course, Pyke, he's a support. I say that with air quotes. So I kind of count him as a damage source a little bit. Of course, not a consistent one, but the execute cannot be underestimated. And on the other side, Vladimir will picked up again, so I'm interested to see if this will be in the bottom lane with a Sharang or if this will be somewhere else. Lucian going to be banned again. That's been a very popular ban on the second phase there for Paragon 5. For both teams. And Lulu also going to be banned here. So 3 different bans this game for ReBrand because of game 2. Now we could see, I think, oh, well, okay, I was going to say Kha'Zix and that got banned, so we're not going to see it. But I was thinking, well, it's an option. We'll see if Tokushiro wants to play it, but their Paragon 5s is going to completely get rid of that possibility. And Darius also going to be the ban. Well, on the other side, Paragon 5, we'll see what they want to do here. They've banned a lot of junglers here. So this might force the Camille into the jungle role. Don't know yet. Poppy could also be the jungle pick for Tokushiro. Poppy jungle has been the most popular position for Poppy to play this year in this league for the most part. And Nami going to be picked up here in the bottom lane for Paragon 5. Again, could be Vladimir again. We'll see if they decide to go with that. Oh, Callista Hover. That would be really interesting with Pyke. That'd be very interesting. And it is going to be Callista, so SWBF pulling out in Game 3 a Callista for us. ReBrand certainly changing things up from Game 1 and 2. They had a pretty similar team comp in Game 1 and 2. They, a few changes, but for the most part, exactly the same. And now they're just going to completely throw it all out the window. They've got I think all 5 new champions here they're playing with, and Callista is certainly, well, not a new champion, but reintroducing itself now. We haven't seen her in a long, long time. I don't think at all in the Sugar Free League, but we haven't seen, she just hasn't been popular overall in League of Legends for the past year or two. After she got, I wouldn't say gutted, but pretty hard nerfs to her. And Kai'Sa going to be the pick here. So Vladimir will actually go up in the top lane here for Beatrice. Camille will be the jungle. And the Kai'Sa Nami will be the bottom lane here against Callista Pyke, which, well, if Callista Pyke gets rolling, I don't think there's a way to stop that. That's going to be very tough to deal with there in the bottom line. But we also get a Taliyah jungle again. And Poppy will be in the top lane. So seen a lot of jungle Poppy, but Taliyah going to be the jungle this time. And Poppy going to have the top lane to deal with the Vladimir. And Aurelia will be mid lane with Bezelheim. As I thought maybe might be the case based on the fact that it seems like more of a Bezelheim champion. It just seems he's played a little bit more, I think, than Klein has. And Aurelia should be an interesting matchup. Right. Yeah, the Callista, very, very interesting. She got some range nerfs a long time ago and a few other things that changed her. So it just... Basically, the range was the biggest thing. Losing 25 range as an AD carry is devastating, to say the least. Like, it's just really bad because it completely changes all your lane matchups as well. Like, when Kai'Sa got the 25 range buff from 500 to 25, like, even just buffing her range, like, just made her so much better. Like, it's just insane how much range... even a little range, like 25 range, can make a huge difference to champions that are, obviously focused on auto attacks. Like, it just matters so much for spacing purposes. And one of the reasons that range matters even more for Callista as opposed to other AD carries is because of her kiting, and her kit is so... linked to kiting and auto-attacking in general. Like, the extra range gives you more mobility effectively because you can auto things from further away and chase things easier and kite from them away easier. So it just I don't know, it's just a huge, huge thing for her. And without that extra range, she's really struggled because she was such a lane-dominant champion. And lane-dominant champions need the range to function properly, and she lost that. Well, some of it. But with Pyke, it's the potential for an all-in plus the ultimates combo pretty interestingly because the Pyke can jump in with her, with her ultimate, of course, and then, use that stun to land his stun, bring his dagger back through and then ult. And that combo just gives them so much mobility. Like, Callista Pyke is probably one of the most mobile bottom lanes, I think. Is there I don't think there's a more mobile bottom lane. Like, thinking of it now, I think they're the most mobile bottom lane you could ever put together, really. Like, well, especially when paired together. So it's just insane. It's pretty insane to see that. So I'm excited to see. I was excited for the Shaco Nico synergy. I'm excited for the Callista Pyke synergy now. And apparently we also have Taliyah is undefeated in the SFL, apparently. 5-0 since Cold's been tracking that. So that's a pretty interesting stat to see. It's definitely one I would believe. The Taliyah has been pretty potent. But we've mostly seen it in the jungle, I think. Don't see too many Taliyah mid games, I think. The majority of those were in the jungle, so. We'll see, though, if Tokishiro can make this one work. Taliyah is a pretty difficult champion to learn and play mechanically. So he's got to be on point with that. Even just the seismic shove, the ability alone is just so awkward and weird compared to almost all the other abilities in League of Legends because of the way you cast it. really can messes up people. Alright, well, I gotta switch up the labels real quick. They didn't switch sides this time. That's nice. Now everything correct. Should be. Alright. And away we go. A hook was thrown by Pike, but didn't find anything. Paragon 5, though, is camping their way in the brush here. They do have the hook shot level 1 if that is skilled. And looks like... Nope, it was not skilled. The Q was skilled instead, but Bizzlime still flashes away. And it's a little too late to go back now. So he's going to have to stay in lane and probably use a Corrupting Potion charge. As Bizzlime now has a little bit of a disadvantage to go to start the laning phase. Just going to have to go with it here. So sometimes you'll see the sweeper on Pike level 1 because of his passive needs a lack of vision, but not this time. Well, level 2 though, gank. The hookshot does land. Bizzlime goes down. First blood over to Toxican. Very nice hookshot. The flash from Skorin got him the range he needed, and Bizzlime obviously knew he didn't have the flash because of the earlier invade. And he landed that first blood. A good start there for Paragon 5. Skorin now up top side. He's still level 2. The hook shot, I think he might have just missed the wall, but either way, the Steadfast Presence would have stopped it. Bizzlime will land the stun here on the Toxican. The Ignite goes down. Bizzlime continue to chase. Gets one more Q. The Charm lands, though. The hook shot will stun up Bizzlime. Skorin just needs one more auto. We'll find it. Skorin picks up the kill here. Has only taken 2 camps, the red buff and the Scuttle Crab. But he's already gotten around ganking. Now it's the second death for Bizzlime in 3 minutes, so not a hot start for him. And Klein goes for it again, taking some aggressive trade. Tokashira's in the jungle here. Will miss the smite, though. Skorin gets that one. The hook shot over. Oh, no! The block by Gobi. A flash forward will stop Skorin from getting over the wall, and downing goes. Wow, that was just a fantastic play from Gobi. He absorbed the... Oh, Klein, meanwhile, gets a solo kill in the top side. Gets the stun against the turret, and Vitras goes down. I was so excited by the fantastic play from Gobi there. He flashed... past Skorin so that the hookshot couldn't get across the wall because it was blocked by his body. And they pick up the kill in the top lane. Klein just mashed Features right up against the turret and took him down. After he had already gotten some good trades off on him. Well, the jungle item picked up for both junglers start out here. Both of them with kill involvements early. So much different than the first 2 games. First 2 games was pretty calm the first couple levels. I know until like 5-6 minutes there wasn't anything, and then we'd have first bloods, but there wasn't a ton of fighting early on. But SWF now with double buffs. How was that him and Gobi to take over that lane? Klein just chucking his shield forward, getting those grass procs as often as he can. Which is a pretty nice interaction. It's kind of like Gangplank in the fact that you're able to proc the grasp really easily. Even though you're a melee champ, you can just continuously proc the grasp. It's kind of like the old Bandit, which used to be a passive on the support items. But before that, it was a I think a mastery, or was it a rune? I can't remember the names. I think it was mastery. But it was basically like if you auto attack someone every on a cooldown. Oh, speaking of auto attacking. Bezline looks to, but will not find it. Anyway, the Bandit, what it did was it give you gold if you auto attack someone, basically. But if you were a melee champ, you got more than if you were if you were a ranged champ. It was 3 gold if you're melee, or 10 gold if you're melee, 3 if you're ranged. And so you could like GP would get melee gold because his Q would apply the attack, but he was basically it was a ranged range. So it was really nice interaction there. Bezline gonna miss this stun. He was forward on Toxic Hand. But that fantastic mobility will allow him to dash right back in and get an auto attack off. But Toxic Hand gonna miss the charm that time. Is the Paragon's Brace this time, which is interesting because Pike usually goes coin. I've seen a lot of Pikes go coin. It's Klein gonna shove Beatrice back and dodge out with the minion there. But the health isn't very gold efficient for the Pike. The charm gonna land this time from Toxic Hand, though, when Skrin is here. He's gonna hookshot off the wall, hits Bezalheim. This might be the 3rd kill, and it will be Skrin with a 2nd kill in the mid lane. The charm land that time from Toxic Hand, and that's a dead Bezalheim. SWF here, showing some pretty good mechanics, but out-traded by the button press from Sharang. Also got that championship skin there. Got the pay-to-win advantage. Of course, Klein gonna go forward here on Beatrice. He's low again, but uses the ultimate now. Will proc the phase rush. Pool. Oh, has the flash. The seismic shove was in the right place and forces the flash out of Beatrice there. So Tokushiro does know how to use that ability. It's always a question with junglers. Now the hook lands. Gobi finds Super Sugoi. The bubble is dodged up by SWF. Good dash there, but they're not going to be able to get a follow-up there. Klein has done a pretty good job in this lane right now. He's not got a CS lead, but that solo kill is very nice, and he's in a range versus melee matchup, so always good to get that one. Already got some MR as well. Interesting you went for the boots and the recurve, though. Sometimes you'll see Callistas go for the Berserker Greaves right away. But I guess with 1300 gold, it does make more sense to go for the recurve bow and the boots. Gobi looking for the stun, but Sharang will dodge out with the extra movement speed. Gobi, the hook does land on a Super Sugoi. Gobi very low, the ignite will go down, but Sharang is soon to follow. Actually, no, Skrin is here. And the flash forward from SWF will get the kill, and Skrin will pick up his own. SWF with the potential kite away here. And he's able to get away from Skrin, so a 2-for-1 trade there. Tokushiro and Gobi do fall, and now TP down from Klein will attack Toshkan, the stun against the wall, but he'll get away, be able to dash away with his ultimate. So it is a 2-for-1 trade. Klein does have to use his TP though. Or excuse me, I think he walked all the way down. Didn't even TP, he walked all the way down there. Skrin now, he just kind of showed up on my screen. Skrin going on to Bezalheim. The red buff ticking, and Bezalheim's having a tough time walking away here. We'll dash to a minion and dash back across, but we'll go down to Toxican in the end. Charm does land now onto Tokushiro. The hook shot will land as well, but Skrin getting very low, and now finally the kill will come in. Toxican picks up another one. Double kill for him. Yeah, I think Klein did walk all the way down there. I wasn't paying attention. There was fighting going on, and all of a sudden a Poppy showed up. So I assumed it was a teleport. Klein looking for the interrupt there, but won't get it. And the Bezzelheim, with pretty good performances in games 1 and 2, has struggled, to say the least, in game number 3. 0-4 here at the 10-minute mark. Started at 0-2 at 3 minutes, so at least he's dying at a less often rate. He's actually up in CS, which is impressive if you've died this many times. Beatrice also deciding to go with his phase rush. Actually saved his life in an earlier gank. Gonna be the Moby boots from both supports after they pick up that first upgraded support item. But no roaming as of yet. They're pretty much stuck in their lanes. Infernal Drake here, so we do have an interesting spawn at least. We'll see if anyone picks that one up early. Callista gives you very good dragon control, so we'll see if they leverage that to pick that dragon up early. Lion still trying to take aggressive trades against Vitras here. But now in the mid lane, Gobi is going to be saved by SWF's ult. Toxican now gets stunned up. And looks like we're going to have a full-fledged team fight on our hands. A 3-man shot, seismic shove will land. Bezzelheim will tank up with a W in the front line. Gobi now goes down on the other side. And Grin will be able to hook shot over the wall, but moves on to SWBF, who will pick up that kill. And Shrang on the other side will go down. Triple kill for SWBF there. And meanwhile, the top laners have been smacking each other around this entire time. But that should mean the Infernal Drake here, which is a pretty nice pickup here, considering every single person on your team uses it. Poppy probably the least amount, but she does have a little bit of AD ratios on her abilities and things like that, so can't really hurt. But it's, you know, it's not often with a tank top laner teams have 4 members that use it, because supports generally don't. But the Pyke certainly will. And the Protobelt was the first choice for Vitras here. We saw Shrang go for a much different look with his build, where he rushed the CDR boots, and then he got a Kindle Gem, and then the Needless the Arch Rod. It was just a very different order of items here. And the Oblivion Orb as well. So he's going for more of a Protobelt into Pen build with this. Maybe he'll just finish up the Morel, who knows. Bezzelheim will get charmed up by Toxican again. The hook shot onto him again, and Bezzelheim will go down for the 5th time this game. Just got a kill and an assist. I thought he might be riding the ship for him, but Bezzelheim, the charm is landed by Toxican, you know, one more time, and it spells his doom. The river, though, Klein and Skorin going at it. The Scuttle Crab was picked up by him, and he will get out safely. The hook shot over the wall, going to save him. 950 gold shutdown on the SWBF now, by the way, and he's 5-0, so Lista working out pretty well for him. Back to a lull in the game, I suppose. There's been a lot of fighting, unlike the other 2 games in this early stage. Perhaps prompted by the Callista Pyke and the aggressive Camille jungle as well. And now, speaking of fighting, SWF gets jumped on here by Skorin. The Hexagon Wave used, and he goes down. Gobi will find his way out with the ultimate, and the Weaver's Wall not going to find anything as Skorin taunts him. Tokushiro there just a second too late to help out. And Vitras and Klein still hitting each other. I don't know if they'll ever stop. Maybe one day top laners can find peace with one another. Assume the Ruden's Hurricane will come in next for SWBF. That has always been the the go-to item. Fan vents are also an option. But that's a big shutdown kill to give over. And now there's literally no shutdown on him, so... Yeah, pretty big gold swing there. Gobi coming up in the top lane. He wants some roam and some ganks here. Ignite kicks down on the Vitras for the grievous wounds. Phase Rush will get him a little bit farther away, but now the Pike ult misses Vitras with the flash away. And he will survive that one. He's been ganked a few times tonight, and he's been able to survive most of them. Just the one death so far. SWBF forced to go 2v1 in the lane now. Pike, one of the faster roamers though. With his W and his E, he can get around the map. Moby Boots, of course. He can get around the map so fast that you don't lose a ton of time. The Triforce is still a while away here for Bezalime. Did stop to get the team out as well. Mid lane turret now the focus for Paragon 5 here. Bezalime looks in, will find a stun on the Super Zagoi, but no follow-up. Just the wave clear here for now. Pike, Hulk misses. In the bottom lane though, SWVF has been hitting the turret and it's gotten pretty low. He's forced to back off now because of the rotation back from Shirang and Super Zagoi. Blue buff will go over to Toxican now. Been pretty different theories on handing over blue buffs in the SFL. But it looks like both these teams have pretty much given over blue buffs after the first 2 to 3. They pretty much always hand over the blue buffs to the mid laner. Fine, we'll find the stun on the wall, up against the wall though on Vitras, and Tokashira is here to take advantage. Getting very low. Vitras. The seismic shove will miss, and looks like he will survive. Flash forward though. Tokushiro will find it, throwing stones. And he gets the kill here. SWBF hexagon lane from Sprint onto him. Heal used. SWBF trying to kite away. He does. Pike ult comes down, but it's not even needed. SWBF finds the kill. Charm will land on Bezalime, and he will go down in the meantime. On the other side of the Pike ult is used again, and Toxican will pick up that kill. Klein coming down in the bot lane once again. Gobi looking for another. Oh no! That was very close, and the ult will need to be used. The Ignite was thrown down by Supa, so that forced out the save there from SWBF. Otherwise, he would have died. Gobi would have died to the turret shot, which is SWBF has saved the life of Gobi, I think 2 or 3 times this game with that ultimate. And it will be the Hurricane, of course, and lethality for the Pike. Bezlime's still searching for that elusive Triforce. 6 deaths now for Bezlime. If there hadn't been a mid lane camp this game, I think it would probably already be over, but ReBrand held down by their best player. I gotta start some drama, otherwise I can't be entertaining enough. So I gotta start insulting people. Sub is a bad influence on me. Rift Herald now gonna be the decision here. 19 minutes, so just a minute left to dance around this one. But they're gonna back off this one. Skrin and Shirang were here to contest. Gobi and SWBF gonna try and push up the top side. Skrin is here though, and no ults available for SWBF. Gobi now is caught, and Hexagon Lane goes down, and he will fall very quickly. Without those resistances, he's a paper thin. No ult either from SWBF. Spelled his doom. Rift will now be started up by Paragon 5 instead. Hookshot goes through. Skrin will land onto Tokushiro. He does go down.
Bezzaline gets stunned up, but now he ults forward onto Sharang. He's charging forward. Sharang will go down, and Beatrice is smashed into the wall. SWF chasing. Toxican forced to flash. The charm lands, but he will not find the follow-up damage to kill SWF. And apparently there's a game bug there. Nice. And Bezzelheim will find the stun, and that's the kill. Looks like SWF and the boys fire back. ReBrand not giving up there. Loss of support, it's 45. We don't care. We're going to fight anyway. And they win it, in fact. As Gobi is now forced to do the dirty work of all supports and clear wards. The abuse supports endure. I'm not sure how they take it. Well, now 21 minutes is the time, so Baron is available. After it took the place of its cousin Shelly. Triforce is also going to be the first item out of Surin, after the jungle item. Which sometimes you'll see jungle Camille's just go straight for, like, I don't know, a tank item, like anything, because usually Triforce is just way too expensive for them, but after all the kills Surin has gotten, and the consistent farm, he's felt fine to go for it. He hasn't gotten T-Mat, though. He just went for his jungle item, no T-Mat for the Camille this time. Morello was finished by the Vladimir as well, so a completely different build as opposed to the one we saw earlier in Game 2, which is interesting because Shrang and Beatrice are on the same team, of course. You kind of expect them to have similar philosophies on how Vladimir should be played, but maybe it's just a difference because of the position they're playing, who knows. Triforce, though. Bezlime's finally gotten it. It's took him 6 deaths, but he's gotten the Triforce. Combined with this adaptive helm and Merc Treads, doesn't really take a whole lot of damage from Beatrice, so I think he's pretty safe up there in the top lane. Or now the bottom lane. Gobi gonna miss that hook, but he's been pretty good at playmaking so far. Fine, not going to quite find the stun on the wall here, but he's going to deny the stun from Scran. The Hexagon may use to keep Fine there, but he's able to knock him away. The Lave lands, and Beatrice kind of continue to move in. Fine will stun Beatrice up against the wall, and now Bezlam going in 1v4. Will dash out, but will not survive. The double kill there for Sharang. On the other side, Toxican was picked up, but a 2-for-1 trade overall. Cloud Drake started up. Gobi with the hook. Will not find it. Flash away from SWF. Tokushiro gets stunned up. He's forced to flash as well afterwards. And now a couple more kills come in. SWF trying to kite for his life, but now just Tokushiro remaining, and 2 more kills given over, and not the Cloud Drake not even secured. Not exactly what ReBrand wanted there. And whoa, okay. Yeah, that hurts. Beatrice kind of just pressed Q and killed him. There was a lot of damage just dashing forward onto him. This should be the mid inner turret as well. Get the Cloud Drake, pretty much an ace, and nope, the inner turret will survive for now. Bezzelheim and Klein gonna force him off. So now we reset our game after that big fight. Guardian Angel going to be purchased here for SWBF as the 3rd item. Already has Grievous Wounds, of course. Rage Blade and Stormraze are already online here for Sharang. Bezzelheim, he's actually got quite a bit of gold. But yeah, the 7 deaths aren't helping. That I can say. Well, there might be just another one here. Skrin is on the side lane trying to take him down. The Hectical made him. And, well, Bezalime tries his own, but it won't work this time. Skrin with a solo kill up topside. Bezalime is just fish food at this point. Maybe he can kill the support, I'm not sure. Fine, though. He's going to take a fight with Beatrice. The ultimate used. He's going to try and die. Beatrice going for Klein underneath the turret, but again, that Adaptive Helm just means that it's really hard for Beatrice to kill Klein. But, well, he's got some teammates, and here they come. Super Sugoi going to use the wave, but Toxicant will pick it up in the end. Shrang was knocked back, but the kill's still secured. There's Gage, now online for Skrin as well. He's got a lot of items for what a jungle Camille would usually have at 25 minutes. Now lots of shutdown gold available still for ReBrand to pick up. But Paragon 5, after a rough game 1, came out with a crazy comp in game 2, were able to take the game, and now they're in a pretty solid position to take game 3. They're looking very good, up 5,000 gold, well 4,000 gold. I'm great at math, by the way. Alright, since results the first item out of the Nami, which is definitely more towards that Kaisa carry, but sometimes you'll see Athenes or different things like that, but Outer Sensor was still the choice this game. Some more wave clearing in the mid lane, but this next team fight's going to be crucial. There haven't really been a straight up 5v5s. It's just been mostly like 3v3s or 4v4s or you know, 5v5 team fights, but they've all been disjointed. Alright, again we have, every time we pause we have the sweeper ward on, and I gotta listen to it. Well, Gobi just reconnected, so maybe we'll get on pause right away. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to take off my headphones and mute this thing because that is very annoying. I'm also just going to move to another screen so nobody can see the map while we're gone. But we're going to go right back, apparently, because they're trolling me. And we're unpaused once again. It's interesting that the Guardian Angel was the third purchase from SWBF. I kind of would have expected another Zeal item, maybe even Rage Blade, just like another attack speed item, or Infinity Edge if he wants to lean more into crit, but just kind of interesting he would go for that third. Oh, well, Paragon 5 kind of left one member behind. Toxicant has the responsibility of zoning here. We'll miss the first charm. Charging up the ult is Klein. He's going to knock a couple people out of the pit. Two go back here. Sharang. That does mean the fight's going to break out. Beatrice is in the back line here. SWF already getting low. Klein forced to run away. Toxicant will charge forward again. And now in the backside, Sharang is going to turn on to Klein. Super Sugoi hits the bubble and he will go down. Now SWBF gets killed by two on the side. Toxicant and Beatrice able to get that one. And looks like that'll stop the contest here. Yep, they're both going to leave here. Tokashiro and Bizlime nowhere to be found, and that Baron will go over now. Paragon 5 looks in full control of this game. The fight started in pretty terribly, to be honest. There was a really nice poppy ult from Klein. It will just knock away everyone with a Keeper's Verdict, and it thought that might win them the fight to start off, but Sharang got back into it. Got back into the fight, and Super Sugoi was able to flash away over the wall to safety. And then they were able to take it from there. Beatrice there was huge in that backline. Was able to get SWF really low to start off, and then were able to win the fight from there. Now Gobi found in the jungle. He's going to hop away. The wave does hit Takushiro, but he's able to dodge a charm and Toxic can. And now stun up in the wall in his Vitras. He's going to be able to go into that pool, though, and survive for now. The zone is going to buy him some more time. Finally, we'll go down the shutdown over to Klein. The Weaver's Wall is zoning away some people, but SWF is able to be taken down in the backline there. The Ignite going to pick him up in the end. The Flash was also used from him. Fake hook on the minion there from Gobi. Now this cannon minion with Baron buff is going to do a lot of damage here in this siege. It actually might be a minion valuable to hook back so that you can actually kill it, you know, safely. Now 4v4. Paragon 5 is going to continue to try to push forward. They've got Shrang in the bottom lane, split pushing. While the rest sit over here. Bezelheim going to look for a kill on him, but he's even in levels with the 80 carry and down on items significantly. Bezelheim's going to try to go forward here, but Shrang will boost away. He's also got the Guardian Angel third here. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Paragon 5 has been working their way down on the turret. Oh, the hook goes wide again from Gobi. This cannon minion is still doing work, though. Might just take out the tower. One more shot, and will do so. The cannon minion doing work here for Paragon 5, and Klein will miss this ultimate. On the backside, though, Bezelheim does have the flank, but he's going to go down instantaneously. Shrang and pick up that kill in the backline. On the other side, Vitras is doing a lot of damage. Gobi's going to fall, and now SWF in trouble. The Hexakill made on him. He's going to go down, and now Klein, just the last remaining member of ReBrand. And, well, they might just have to do that after this loss. ReBrand, not exactly the way they wanted to finish the series after a great game one. Looks like Paragon 5 is going to take it here with a 31-minute game. And they're going to end this one with the Baron buff. Spectacular comeback performance from them with a crazy game in game two with a Nico Shaco combo and a few other interesting picks. The Vladimir in the bottom lane. A lot of interesting stuff from them, but they're going to end up taking this one. Winning the series 2-1. Which, to be honest, I didn't really expect after game one. I thought they were going to lose it. We've had a lot of 2-0s. Just sometimes the momentum gets away from people, but in the end, Paragon 5 very mentally strong here, and I'm going to end up taking the series. And yeah, Bezelheim was great in games 1 and 2, but it struggled in game 3. But on the opposite side, I think Toxican really stepped it up in game 3. Like, he had mediocre games 1 and 2. I mean, you know, good, but not great. And then game 3 was another story. He was amazing. But a long night. We're going to end it here, though. We do have a series tomorrow, Friday. We'll check the time here, just to make sure it hasn't been updated. Yep, so it will be Friday, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. I'll be here again with Nate, and then we have... And that game's going to be Blizzard versus Rogaine Warriors. And then we have Free Tyler 1 versus Akuma Blades at 10 with Andrel on the second stream. And then we have a couple series Saturday and Sunday, of course. Those are going to be about the similar time. So stay tuned for those. But thanks for watching tonight. Thanks to everyone who donated bits. Revnon, Trollzium. I think I'm not sure if I got everyone, but... thank you guys for donating all that stuff. Let me check to make sure if anyone else donated. I'm probably going to miss someone, but... Lestaya donated. I think... Is that it? I think so. Alright. I think that's everyone, but yeah, feel free to use those Acer Predator links, the Humble links, and all that stuff.
and that'll help support us. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.